Thank you all. That's wonderful. And thank you, Barbara. Wow. Just flooded memories and feelings. You remember John? Yeah. Thank you. That's a what?
Go ahead.
No, you have something to do?
No, I'm going to come up on stage as soon as you're done giving me accolades.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Let me finish that then. She didn't tell you everything about what that was like the first time she did that with Rocking Bear. That night to morning, he told her that she had to keep drumming. That if he didn't, that he could lose his way home and he could die. No pressure. But it was that kind of experience we had in doing that work with
No bathroom breaks.
No. Oh yeah, you just got celestial. Anyway, that's the draw of the native way, is that it's hard. But if you do the hard in your ceremony, then you don't have to do so much hard in your life. You know, it's wonderful. So thank you, thank you. Yes, come up and do it.
Are you ready? Yes! Are you ready to be free? Yes! Take a breath. We're going to do our treatment for freedom together aloud. I speak my word for myself, my center, and all its members and friends. I know love as the only reality. I am created out of love. Love is what I am. I know this love as absolute freedom in every area of my life, the life of my center, and all who call it home. I know our center's mortgages are paid in full, and I claim for all of us financial freedom with all debts paid and cleared. We release any sense of struggle or wrongdoing. I live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. We experience freedom in every moment by always having more than enough money, vibrant health, and loving relationships. We are who we have come here to be. With hearts open wide, we see the world through the eyes of love. We are blessed, we are rich, and we are free. And so it is. And we use our points of power. I always pay attention. I always tell the truth and tell it quickly. I always ask for what I want when I want it. I always take total responsibility for my experience. I always keep my agreements. And so it is. I love you.
So 2 weeks ago today was a snow day. Remember all that snow? And Barbara and I, as we do, we don't cancel Sundays. We walk across on whatever it is, and we're here. And that means if nobody shows up, we've never had that happen. There's usually somebody who's got to trudge through it all and get over here, which is fun. And we'll sit and have a cup of coffee or something and that. But that particular Sunday, even with a foot of snow, we had 41 people in this room. And my plan was to speak on Transcendence that day, but I decided to do something different because I didn't know how many people were going to show up. So what we did was we passed out pieces of paper and pens and invited people to write a question. In some places they call that Stump the Dummy. Not here. So we passed them out, gave everybody a few moments to do that. Then we collected them in one of our offering baskets and brought them back up. And Barbara and I took turns asking each other the questions from the basket. We, of course, didn't get through all of them, but it was a fun time. And everybody seemed to enjoy the experience. And what was interesting was afterwards, I took all of the questions, the ones that we read and the ones we hadn't, and I read through them. And what I realized is that along this journey, it seems that the most important thing to us, as it should be, is our own personal experience with the divine. How do I live this life and do it well? How do I know I'm on my path? You know, they were those kinds of questions. questions, grappling with life. How do we do this thing the best we can? And I thought that was just so elegant and so wonderful that that is our work, is to keep asking ourselves these questions about how to live our lives well. What a joyous thing to be connected around such ideas. And it helped me really expand or deepen my thoughts around this idea of transcendence. The reason I chose that as my title is a very short phrase that Ernest Holmes is known to have said. And it goes like this: transcendence transmutes. It does not rectify. That says volumes to me. Transcendence, the idea of getting above something, allows the something that we're getting above to change into something that suits us better. Anybody here still have challenges in your life ever? Couple of you, great. I don't think we ever get away from that. That there's something to work on, there's something that isn't complete, there's something that calls to us to figure out in our lives. And the place we tend to deal with those things is one-on-one, face-to-face. We think about it, and it's right here. Sometimes it's even in our bodies. Sometimes it's a relationship, sometimes it's a job, sometimes it's a money issue. It can be any of those things, but the challenges that come into our lives, we kind of take them on face-to-face. And we know them well because we created them. We seldom take credit for creating them, but we do create the conditions of our lives. And there it is, right before us, this thing a doctor says, or a lawyer, or God forbid a judge says. You know, now we have to deal with this and grapple with it and try to figure out how to do it. And we're doing it one-on-one with the challenge, with the condition that we have been so gently creating in our lives, not always gentle, but this thing that we've created that we're grappling with. It seems to get bigger. It seems to get more profound and in our face, and what do? That's what we do, is we ask the question, why can't I get rid of this? Why won't this go away? Why do I have to deal with this? We ask those kinds of questions. It's all the same question. It's the why question. And here's the problem with that. If you ask the question why, you're still in the problem. You're still affirming that it's real, that it's there, that you have to deal with it. Why is this mine to do? Why won't they do what I want? All those kinds of questions, why questions, keep it alive and nurture it. And we nurture the problem when we ask why. So I want to invite you, if you ever hear that word why, let it be a siren in your mind, because it's telling you you're engaged in the problem. The answer to why is a lie. You don't know why. Doesn't matter why. Why is irrelevant to the problem. Even though what it does is it focuses you on the subject. Why is this happening? Well, then this is what's happening. So you got to stop that. Then you do what Holmes says. You transcend it. How do I do that? It can be a very physical activity. You can actually get above it. If you have to get on a ladder, get on a ladder. Do what you have to do to create some separation from the thing, the condition, and you. Is there anybody here that's never been on an airplane? Okay, you're going to get this. When you're up in the air and you're looking at the ground, there's things happening down there. You see cars going by, you see lights on, you see movement. If you're going over the ocean, you might see boats and things. Can you do anything about that? No. Isn't that lovely? You have transcended all of that activity. It's handling itself. All you have to do is observe it. And it'll be what it is. And it will not hurt you. You'll be aware of it, but it will not hurt you. It will not be a condition that you have to grapple with. It's happening on the ground. You're in the air. Being in an airplane is transcending the activities that are on the surface of the planet. So how could you do that in your life? You could have something that's going on that you're all caught up in, face to face. Somebody's told you something, you've observed something, you've experienced the result of your consciousness, and you're not happy with it, and you can grapple with it, you can fight with it, you can have nightmares about it. God knows I've done that. You can make it the most important thing in your life. But in doing all of that, you're feeding it. So you want to do something else. You must transcend it. You must step above it in your thinking, in your action, in your awareness of it. You must release it and step away from it. Transcendence transmutes. And the other part is it does not rectify, because the thing you think is wrong is not wrong. It's simply a condition, a created condition in your life that you can turn around. But you got to let it go to turn it around. My first teacher, Ken Dyers, used to take a coffee cup and say, you can hold a coffee cup in your hand long enough to where you don't even know it's there. And some of us live with our problems long enough that we forget that they're there, we deal with them. I've heard so many people say, I didn't even know I had pain until it went away. Yeah. But when it was gone, it felt so different than it did before. But I'd gotten used to it. We get used to these conditions that don't serve us. I think that's the lovely thing that's happening on Wednesday nights. People are letting go of things they've had for years that they forgot they even had, or they were just resolved to live with. And then they just went away, and the elevation of spirit that happens in that is so extraordinary. One thing that Rob Organ says every time he gets up here is, it's not me. Well, if it's not him, who is it? It's your willingness to let go of the thing that's not working anymore. In that moment, you are transcending that condition. And it's changing. It's changing. That's how it's done. Oh, that's too easy. Oh, no, it's exactly that. That's simple. I'm not sure how easy it is, but it isn't complicated. Let it go. Transcend it and allow it to transmute. Allow it to change form in your life. You can do that by simply creating some distance from you and the condition. And then there's nothing to fix. There's simply a new condition. Every one of us can do that in our lives. Every one of us can have that life that we desire if we're willing to stop dancing with the problem and to start stepping above it, moving above it, living above it, living in that state of transcendence, and being willing to step up at any moment when something shows up. We've had some things happen around here recently where I wanted to grapple with it, and as soon as I realized that wasn't working, just get above it and watch it go away. And it will, remarkably. One of the big issues that we've had is this creek out here, and the fact that part of it is just kind of eroding down into and taking our parking lot away. And the experts came and looked at it and said, okay, well, you're going to have to give up this entire row of parking. I don't think so. But the experts are saying that's what you've got to do. So what do? We transcend it. And we realize that there are people out there that goes, no, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is work in this little area right here, and that'll help you for a long time. Okay. Transcend it. And let it transmute into something that works. Something that is manageable. Something that is actually can be delightful. Any of those ideas would be better, right? Of course. Transcendence transmutes. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing wrong. There's simply what is and how you're experiencing it. And could you experience it in a more gentle or loving or manageable way? You can, because transcendence transmutes. Am I getting through? Okay. All right, now we have to practice it. So every one of you has something going on in your life that you'd like to be different. Anyone want to deny that right now? Okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and have great courage to face that thing that seems to be such a concern in your life. Be aware of it, whatever it is. Try not to get too caught up in it at this moment. You probably have spent plenty of time and know exactly how to do that. But this time, being aware of it in whatever state it is, and if it's in your body, then I'm going to ask you in a moment to leave your body. If it's in your affairs, then I want you to be ready to leave that condition, whatever it is, and move away from it. So you're with it now, and you see it, and maybe you can hear something, there's something to hear, maybe there's something that could be touched, and you're aware of it, and you can reach out and touch it. Whatever it is, it's there. Now I want you to change your perspective and rise above it. Just float above it, just a few feet, just so that you're kind of looking down at it, whatever it is. And again, if it's in your body, go ahead and let your body be there on the ground. And I want you to rise above it. It's a little further away from you now. You've moved up, and it's down there. In just a few feet, I want you to be aware of the difference between how you experienced it face to face right there and how you're now experiencing it as you step away. Be aware of the difference. How does it look different? How does it sound different? You can't touch it. There's too much distance now. Now, go a little higher so that it's further away. Maybe 20 feet now. A little higher. 50 feet. Continue just moving upward. And look down at it. It's small. It's insignificant compared to what it was. A little higher. Now imagine that you're actually up on a mountaintop, and this thing is down in the valley. Be aware of the air that blows by from that mountaintop. Be aware of the sounds of the wind, the brightness of the sun. Be aware of your breath. Can you even see that condition anymore? If you can envision this right here and right now, then you can transform your life. Because whatever it is transmuting into something else. This isn't about looking for a solution. It's about allowing the creation of our lives to come forth clearly and beautifully. Keep your eyes closed. And receive these words. From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope. It's the voice of peace. It's the voice of everyone. From a distance, we all have more than enough, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, and no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments, marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. There's the songs of everyone. From a distance, You look like my friend. Even though we are at war, from a distance I cannot comprehend what all this fighting is for. From a distance there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes. It's the love of loves. It's the heart of everyone. God is watching us, for we are watching us. God is watching us from a distance. God is watching us as we are watching us. God is watching us from a distance. Transcend and have the life you've come to have. I believe in you. I love you. And so it